Hello and welcome. My name is Alfredo Contreras. I'm a deployment engineer with Network Consulting Services. We are here today to discuss ways to reduce the amount of traffic generated by the Ivanti EPM agent. Today we'll be using adaptive settings in your agent configuration. To begin, you need to open up your existing default or currently used agent configuration. In my case, we were going to use Windows agent configuration. Select the adaptive settings area and enable the adaptive settings. Next, we're going to edit the currently selected adaptive setting, which is the only setting available. And here, this area allows us to configure it. Changing the name of the rule helps identify what it does without having to open it. It's just aesthetically more pleasing and more useful. We're going to create a new role called onVPN. And the trigger will be an IP, the IP range, and IP address range. In this example, this is my IP address change. My VPN IP address range. You do want to verify that the core is accessible from this network, so we're going to check this and click Save. Now that the trigger has been set, we're going to set the actions to change the client behavior. Client behavior, as you can see, will be from that will be modifying is the distribution and patch settings. And under settings, we're going to modify this to VPN settings, distribution and patch settings, etc. This was created ahead of time. We'll review these settings shortly. And click Save. If no rule applies, assume the pre-configured agent settings as specified here. Next thing you do is hit Save. Next, we're going to review the VPN settings for the distribution and patch. Select distribution and patch, then click Configure, and then modify the existing or copy an existing setting to become the VPN settings. As we have here, I have the VPN settings already created. We'll double click on that or edit. And now in the settings here, we can modify the behavior of the agent while it's connected to the VPN. Typical settings to modify here are the network settings, right? Here we're going to disable the peer-to-peer downloading. This is not needed. In fact, can create extra bottlenecks and extra bandwidth and traffic in the VPN if peer-to-peer is enabled, so we're going to disable that in here. We are also going to disable attempt preferred servers, as preferred servers are technically not in the closest proximity, and the core server is generally the path of least resistance. We are allowing allow source downloads. So, for those of you that don't know, the source download is the equivalent to the core server. No multicast here either. The bandwidth used typically here is between 50 and 75%. For this example, in the VPN settings, we're going to set this to 25%, and that just lessens how big the packages are, the package size are when transmitting from the core server, the source, to the destination, being the agent. Because we disabled peer-to-peer, the second toggle button is not really used. So as long as this is unchecked, this is irrelevant. Another setting to modify or consider modifying are the policy synchronizations schedule. Mine is set to synchronize policies once a day with a random delay of up to an hour. Now, the last thing we want to do in this configuration is actually apply the settings to our current agents that we have currently deployed. To do that, what I usually do is go into the agent settings on the left-hand side of the toolbar, and then select the little icon with a little calendar and a clock on it. That is a create a task button. Select that, select change settings, and then here we select the setting or settings that we want to update on our clients. Here we want to change the adaptive settings to our new settings, VPN rule with the VPN rule. Keep in mind we could also change other settings all at once in the same job. We go to task settings. This is going to be a policy supported push. If you have clients coming in through the CSA, a policy push is required for the clients that are coming in from the CSA or communicating through the CSA. For this example, we're going to stick with policy supported push. There are no portal settings here. We're going to modify, and then here are the list of targets. In my example, I'm going to target one computer, and that is Win1008. Schedule the task to start now, and then click Save. Once the scheduled task has reached a successful status with a green bar, the client is now aware of its adaptive setting. Thank you for joining us. Today we covered how to reduce the amount of traffic generated by the Ivanti EPM agent when connected to the VPN. This is Alfredo Contreras with NCSI saying mahalo.